Hi, in this video we're going to look at circles. And there's two things we're going to look at circles. We're going to talk about circumference and we're going to talk about area. And circumference is just the perimeter of a circle. And there was a famous mathematician that figured out that there's a special formula that works for every circle. If this were a can and I had a string and I wrapped it around it, they found this special proportion, this special pattern that worked every time. And that pattern was if they took the radius measure, which in our case is 7, and they times it by 2. So if I times it by 2, I'm actually going all the way across and I'm getting the diameter. They found that if they took the diameter and every time if they multiplied it by this magical number they call pi, they would get the same as the distance around the circle. So for pi, we use the number 3.14. And the reason why we use 3.14 and not the pi button is because pi, nobody's found the end of pi, so every calculator is programmed to a certain number of digits of pi. So if everyone used their pi button and we're all using different calculators, it would be hard to communicate about it. So that's why we just use 3.14. Now, if you don't have a calculator, you can estimate the circumference by using just the 3. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to find the real circumference of this. So I told you the formula was 2 times the radius times pi. And you'll usually see it as 2 pi r. Okay, so 2 times the radius times the pi. Or if they gave me the diameter, remember 2 times the radius is the diameter of the full distance. So I could also use the diameter times pi. All right, so 2 times 7 times 3.14. Well, 2 times 7 is 14. And then I'm going to times that by 3.14. Okay, so I'm going to do my 3.14 times 14. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. Placeholder because I'm moving over a place. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add my digits. I get 6, 9, 3, 4. 1, 2 numbers behind the digit, 1, 2, 2 numbers behind the digit. Or I can think about this, 3 times 14, or 3 times 15 is close to 45. So where do I put my decimal to make the number close to 45? Right there. 43.96 is the circumference of this circle. Next, we're going to look at the area. And if I take a circle, and I'm going to highlight half the circle, I'm going to go around half the circle, and let me come in here and cut it across. So the line I just drew was the diameter. If I take half a circle and I cut slices into it, and I do the same for this side, and I flattened it out, I would end up with these two pieces here. And the unique thing is these pieces slide together to form another shape that we should all know. They make a parallelogram. And a parallelogram is a rectangle is an example of a parallelogram, and the formula for area of a rectangle is base times height. So right now I'm going to show you where the circle formula came from, and then in a minute I'm just going to make it easier and give you the circle formula. So this outer edge here is this outer edge here, okay, which is the base piece. And I went halfway around the outer edge of the circle. Well, the outer rim of the circle is called circumference, and we know circumference is 2 pi r, but I went half the circle, so I'm going to split this by 2. So that leaves me with pi r for my base, and then the height, if you notice, is one of these slivers here. And when you go from the center to the outside of the circle, that's the radius. So we get pi times r, or pi r squared. Now remember, that 2 means you're going to multiply r times r. It does not mean times 2. That's a mistake a lot of people make. This little 2 means to repeat your r again and use multiplication. So I'm going to plug in a number. I'm going to use the number 10. Yes. So using my formula, pi r times r, so that I don't mess up on that r squared, 3.14 times 10 times 10. Well, 10 times 10 is just 100, and times it by 3.14. Well, I like this problem. This is why I picked it. When you multiply by 100, It has 2 zeros, so you move your decimal 2 places. 1, 2. My answer is 314. So the area of this circle is 314. And if I was estimating it, I would do 3 times 10 is 30 times 10 is 300. 314 is close to 300. And estimation is a great way to limit your choices on a multiple choice test question. Okay? I hope this helps.